Welcome to another episode of Zach Spends Way Too Much Money on Things He Doesn't Need, aka Muse Merch Review. I've got 7 things we're going to look at in this episode. We've got 2 standees, 1 sticker sheet, 1 glitter paperweight thing, 1 floor mat, 1 phone pop socket, and 1 giant anime figure. And yes, I've talked about the anime figure in a YouTube short before, but now we're actually going to take a little bit more time to actually look at it. In fact, let's just start with the anime figure. This is the Maria Made Outfit Muse 1/8 scale figurine by Apex Toys. It's about 5.5 inches tall. It's made of PVC and ABS plastics. It's the only thing that I'll be talking about on today's episode that is not on the Muse merch store. You have to go to a different website to buy this. Along with the figure, it comes with this big cool looking box, a soft base plate to lay the figure on, a lithographic card of Maid Maria that looks like the character select screen from the game, and a code for a special in-game loading screen. Not too bad as far as I'm concerned. I think it's a pretty solid little figurine here, and I would hope so, considering it's $150, which, that's a lot of money to spend on a little plastic figure, but this is also the first anime figure I've ever bought, and while I'm not too into anime figures, I figured, you know what, I'll try it out. I'll buy one. If I was going to buy any figure, it would be Maria from Muse. I also saw for the other figurine that came out a long time ago for Rim, that the resale value is about the same as when it came out. So like, even if I bought it and didn't really like it that much, more than likely I'd be able to get most of my money back if I wanted to sell it, so that's why I decided to pull the trigger on it. Overall, I think it's pretty solid. It looks great. The quality's good. I would again hope so for $150, but you know, no price tag is too much for Best Girl Maria, you know what I'm saying? Next, let's dive into the standees. As always, they are great quality, and I have pretty much nothing bad to say about them. They're quite literally just a slab of acrylic with an image printed on it, with another slab of acrylic with an image printed on it with a cutout to hold it up. It doesn't get much easier than that. I got the Winter Truancy Plan Maria, which actually has 2 versions of the artwork, 1 for each side, and the Mootown Maria. Both are about 6 inches tall, a couple inches wide, and only about $8. Again, it's really hard to mess up a standee. They do a great job. Their prices are usually pretty fair. As long as there's an artwork that you enjoy and you would like to have on a standee, it's always a good buy. Let's stick with the acrylic theme and look at the Maria Mahjong acrylic glitter paperweight thing. I don't actually know what this is supposed to be, but it looks really cool. It's about 4 inches tall and 3 inches wide. It's about $10, and it's a lot thicker than most acrylic items because it's actually full of liquid and glitter. So if you pick it up and spin it around, all the glitter starts moving. I don't know why they call it Mahjong though, when it's very clearly supposed to be a playing card. I don't know. It's probably just a translation issue. If you've ever read the game's like patch notes or social media posts, it's all in broken English, so like, that's just something you kind of have to deal with this game. One last thing to note is that the glitter inside of this paperweight is actually glow in the dark. It doesn't say that anywhere on the product page, and there's no photo that shows that, in action. I just happened to leave the light on somewhat close to this thing, and when I turned the lights off to go to bed, it started glowing. So I guess it glows in the dark. I don't think it's supposed to do that, but it does that, so bonus feature. Floor mat. I was actually going to go to the website to pull up information about the product, its official name, dimensions and stuff, but I guess it's been delisted. I can't even find it in the sold out section. To be fair, I actually did get this one well over a year or 2 ago, so I just didn't really figure I'd make a video on one item, so I figured I'd save it for the next batch of Muse merch. Oof. Well, from what I remember, there was several options for floor mats. You could either get them as bath mats with a soft, fluffy material to absorb water, or you could get them as doormats, which were a much harder, thicker material. That way you could scrape shoes on them. And I specifically wanted this one. Not to use as a bath mat, but because in the old house that I lived in, we had hardwood floors everywhere. So I had this one under my desk, so I could have a little soft, fluffy area for my feet, But now I've moved into a house that has entirely carpet in it, so I don't really know what to do with it. It's just been sitting in my closet. It did serve its purpose though, and I'm pretty sure it was only like, I don't know, 10-ish bucks. So like, I'm not that upset about it. I think the quality's pretty good for what it is, you know. I haven't really had any fluff pull off or anything. I have not tried washing it yet though. I don't think that this is going to be washer safe. I'm not 100% sure. It kind of seems like... Okay, well, it's not really a rubbery material. You might be able to throw that in the washer. I'd probably do like a gentle cycle though, and maybe like a... Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't have a tag on it for washing instructions, so... We're getting pretty close to the end of the review here, but now we've got stickers. They are Cosmic Radio 2024 Laser Hot stickers. Sizes vary between the stickers, but you know, I'd say they're pretty average sticker size. And something I didn't know, because there's only one picture of this on the website, the stickers are actually see-through in silver, not black with silver outlines. Not that big of a deal. I still think the stickers look really cool. I just didn't really know that. I feel like I got a little lied to there. I don't know, I feel like more pictures could have solved that problem pretty easy. You'll notice that most of them are not even on the piece of paper anymore, and that's because I've already used them. I got them for my sticker board. I started this project a couple years back. Sometimes I'll just get stickers and have nowhere to put them, so instead of just trashing or getting rid of them, I decided, hey, why not just create a little thing I can hang on the wall and stick all my favorite stickers to. Sticker board. It's like a little collage of all the random things I like. Unlike some stickers I've gotten over the years, these actually hold on pretty well. I haven't noticed any peeling or anything whatsoever. However, I have noticed some very quick fading, especially for the ones on my phone. And that leads us into reviewing two things at once, because I can't talk about one without talking about the other here, and that is the Maria phone airbag holder. It's a pop socket. It's a pop socket for your phone. So I needed a new phone case anyways. The one I had was chipping and not really protecting the phone anymore. So I decided to get this cool little case, the pop socket, some stickers, really just decorate it up. It looks a heck of a lot more girly than I thought it would, but like, whatever, I spent the money on it, I'm gonna use it now. The picture you're seeing now, I took the day that I put everything on. And here's what it looks like 2 weeks later. Yeah, the stickers don't really resist fading, like, at all. To be fair, they're on my phone. I touch this thing constantly, every day. So I did expect them to fade off within a couple months, probably. But, like, I don't know, I was kind of expecting them to last a little bit longer. It is what it is. I don't think I'm going to count it against the stickers. I don't think they're really meant to be used in this way. It's just a good thing for you to know. So if you're going to put it on like a phone case, or a game controller, or maybe like your Switch or your Steam Deck, they're probably not going to last that long. Now on to the pop socket. I have zero issues with this thing. It actually works perfect. It stuck to the case perfectly, it pops in and out. I've had zero problems, it doesn't feel like it's going to break, the image hasn't faded, it hasn't gotten that scratched up. It really is just a pop socket. It does the job well. It's like 2 inches around, and it's heart-shaped, so it's hard to give like exact measurements, but it's about $4. The top part is acrylic, but it's almost like that one keychain I looked at a couple videos ago, where it like bulges out a bit on top and feels kind of soft. It's like that material, but it's kind of an improved version of it. This is the first time I've ever had a pop socket on my phone. Most of the time I just get phone cases that have kickstands, but it works pretty well. You know, I can't really complain. Sometimes it kind of gets in the way, but like, that's not the pop socket's fault. You know, like, well, it is the pop socket's fault. It's not the quality of the product's fault. It's just the product itself. It's weird to get used to. It has been nice having one, though. Maybe a little bit too nice. I keep fidgeting with it on the desk, and like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I need to take this thing away. All in all, I think it was a pretty successful merch haul. I know it's been a hot minute since I've made one of these merch review videos, but there's a few reasons for that. One is just the general lack of interest in the game lately. I of course log on occasionally, and when there's an update to play what's new, but I don't know, just life is happening, there's other things for me to do. It's still a great game, I still love Muse Dash, but the interest has declined a little bit for me. Reason 2 is just my approach to having things has changed. Since the beginning of last year when I moved into a new place, I had to downsize a lot, and part of that made me realize that I have just a ton of random stuff around the house that I don't really need. It even got to the point where I sold like half my game collection, and I would tell you more about that, but I feel like I'm still gonna make a video about that at some point, so I'll save that for now. Also, reason 3, whenever I would check the merch store, I would typically find like 1 or 2 items that I think are really cool. However, if I only want 1 or 2 items, shipping is going to be about the same as purchasing 1 or 2 items. So I usually hold off. I'm like, you know what, I'll come back here in a month or 2, maybe they'll introduce some new items, and then I'll get a big cart together and then just buy it all and save on shipping, right? That way it makes it feel like it's more worth my purchase. But then by the time I come back in a couple months, a couple of the things I wanted had sold out. So even though there's a couple new items I want, there's still only like 2 or 3 things I can actually purchase. So now it's just this vicious cycle of never being able to buy the thing I actually want because shipping is so high. I wanted the Kleenex box cover, the acrylic foam kickstand, I was interested in the lanyards, the previous sticker sheet, the original 3 standees that they said they would be printing again, but I'm pretty sure they lied because I never saw them hit the shop and I checked like every day for a month. Point is, I haven't been able to get the items I wanted because they just don't stay in stock long enough. And I don't really want to just rapidly order things because then I'm going to be spending way more on shipping than I am actually spending money on the item. Also, you know, realistically, I don't really need most of this stuff, right? Which is why, for most of the stuff in this series, I told you what I was going to do with it. I told you that I was going to use the mouse pads as like a travel mouse pad, and with the 2 Maria standees up here, we're gonna go right next to my monitor, and the clips were gonna go also on my monitor, and now they're on a lamp. But like, I had ideas in mind for where to put these things. I wasn't just blindly buying merch for no reason. That's everything I have for today, though. I'm gonna stop preaching now. I don't know if there's gonna be another one of these. It really just depends if there is more merch that I would like to purchase. But if you love MusDash, or you just like hearing me yap about it, there's like 3 other MusDash videos I've put out, 2 merch reviews, and we also did the unboxing for the Collector's Switch Edition, so go check those out if you want. I'll see you later.